Shalom, 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 shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises to Yahweh, Bashim Yahshua, Bashim Hakudash, giving double honors to our apostles and elders of great millstone. Shalom, salutation to all you sincere Akims across the four winds, pushing us truth and sincerity of heart. I'm your fellow servant, because I'm a guy from a DC camp, coming at you through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bashim Yahshua, Bashim Hakudash. And this is on a quick spiritual hit, number 2. And I want to title this, seek not strength from darkness. Something to that effect. Seek not strength from darkness. All right. Basically, I was reading Psalms 52. It's a short chapter, but I'm gonna read it, and it really goes into the fact that we on the nation of Israel, man, we've been getting our asses handed to us from slavery. Our families destroyed, and we, especially the Israelite man, the Israelite man has been powerless. The Heavenly Father pretty much turned his back on us. Why? Because we turned his back on him first by breaking his laws, statutes, commandments, and lacking faith in him. So what's happened? We've been powerless for a very long time. So now, of course, no man wants to be powerless. You want power. But the thing is, when the righteous power turns his back because you haven't kept your agreement or your covenant, now what happened is the nation of Israel, the majority of Israelite men, so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, have had to turn, to the darkness, to evil, to draw strength from that. Which the strength of evil and darkness is temporary, because it leads to death. It's not just, and it's temporary, and it's wild and it's out of control. And it's self-destructive. And I'm gonna read this. This is Psalms 52 and 1. And when you read the prelude to Psalm 52, it says this is, well, actually it says, I'm gonna read it. Psalm 52 and 1. It says, to the chief musician, Maskil, a psalm of David, when Doeg the Edomite came and told Saul, and said unto him, David is come to the house of Ahimelech. It says, Doeg, that piece of shit, Edomite. If you read, you go to, I think it's first and second Samuel. When Saul was just completely obsessed with trying to kill David, trying to murder David. Okay, it says, why boasteth thou? This is David speaking through his spirit. Why boasteth thou thyself in mischief, O mighty man? The goodness of the Most High endureth. The goodness of power of the Most High endureth continually. Thy tongue deviseth mischief like a sharp razor, working deceitfully. And this is David, as an elect, speaking to Saul and individuals like Saul, which are 2/3. That's because this is their mindset. You know what I'm saying? And at the time, Saul had the power. As far as the physical power, he had the might, he had the numbers. All right. All David had was like 300 men, and Yahweh Bashim Yahshua, of course, which is the most overwhelming power of that's ever existed. Verse 52, verse 3, it says, thou lovest evil more than good, and lying rather than to speak righteousness. Salah. Thou lovest all devouring words, or thou deceitful tongue. The Most High shall likewise destroy thee forever. He shall take thee away and pluck thee out of thy dwelling place, and root thee out of the land of the living. The right, which that's how you know we're talking to Israelites, because the nations don't have the right to go into the land of the living, which is the land of Israel. The land of Israel belongs to the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Verse 6, the righteous shall see and fear and shall laugh at him. Lo, this is the man that made not the Most High his strength, which that's what David and Saul was. He didn't make the Most High his strength. He bucked on every turn, man. He didn't follow the prophets. Everything the Lord told him to do, he bucked in against it. It says, Lord, this is the man that made not the Most High his strength, but trusted in abundance of his riches, and strengthened himself in his wickedness. And that's the main part, the main, I would say part of the lesson is to not strengthen yourself in wickedness, because wickedness is appealing as far as it's like a short, limited, flash of strength, but it's not righteous, it's not just, it's self-destructive. It says, but I'm like a green olive tree in the house of the Most High. I trust in the mercy of the Most High forever and ever. I will praise thee forever because thou hast done it, and I will wait on thy name, for it is good before thy saints. Now the main part, again, going back to verse 7. Lord, this is the man that made not the Most High his strength, but trusted in the abundance of his riches, and strengthened himself in his wickedness. Now, the situation, when I read that immediately, this is what came to mind. You know, of course, Star Wars, became a fan of Star Wars, you know, and it's just a lot of things in Star Wars is extremely spiritual. And especially the character Darth Vader, known as Anakin Skywalker. And it's amazing because when he came up, he was taught in the art of righteousness, but, you know, he felt like the power of righteousness wasn't going to be enough to save this woman that he pretty much adore and love dearly above all. You know what I'm saying? So he was willing to dive into the dark side and become, become Darth Vader, right? And become Darth Vader, and he became straight up evil, man. You know, and he drew more strength in wickedness, but it didn't last, and it wasn't righteous, but it's tempting, right? You know, it's false. It's off the left hand side. It's of Satan, but it's and it's tempting, but it's not true strength. Strength in wickedness is not real strength because it's temporary, and again, it's wild. It's temporary. It's self-destructive. Now, how do you apply that to our people? That's when you got these. And I just put up, I just wrote down the word thugs, right? Which when you go to, let's look up the word thug. Because that in that so-called community of so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, when you look at the guys who the so-called community looked as being the powerful ones, those are the ones that have given up their minds and soul to wickedness. You know what I'm saying? So when you look up the word thug, it says a violent person, especially a criminal. Now historical, this is huge. It says a member of a religious organization of robbers and assassins in India, devotees of the goddess Kali. That's where you get that California, them gangbanging niggas, right? Because they're under that spirit. That's where they draw their strength. You see how Tupac, they had wild stuff where niggas out here shooting at each other, dodging bullets. You know what I'm saying? Not thinking, just acting, reacting. You know what I'm saying? That wild shit. But always dying young, getting all fucked up. You know what I'm saying? But it's like a temporary flash of fake strength. But it's appealing to our people because our people don't have the true power, which is Yahweh Shemel Shah, only a few, the elect. So therefore, us, the ones who know about the true power, we don't have to resort to being, to seek into the darkness, the power of the darkness, and evil, and wickedness. Okay? We don't need that crap. Because we know what's going to happen when you live that life. And look at these images. Of course, you got these singing demons, bone thugs in harmony. And they all got that black, color black, which is a dark. And then look, right here, you got those spicks. All right, you got those spicks over there, which are from the northern tribes, so-called Puerto Rican, so-called Mexicans, right? And so-called Zebulonite, I said so-called Puerto Ricans, so-called Mexicans, which are Ephraimites, Issacharites, and Zebulonites, which are so-called Guatemalans. You see, they got the guns, which is Esau's guns. That's temporary. The Most High is going to give us spiritual powers. You never run out of spirit, but you will run out of bullets. That's what I'm saying. It's a flash. It's a temporary flash of strength. It's not real because it's not continual, and it's self-destructive, and it's wild. You know what I'm saying? And it's not of the Most High. It's not righteous strength. You know what I'm saying? But that's the strength that's recognized in our so-called community amongst Israelites. Why? Because of the lack of the true power. But why is it? Because why is it that fake strength? It's the same thing with Anakin Skywalker. And this is image right here, right there. It's the same thing. This is the main reason why. Because the men of Israel are women worshippers and they adore women. You're only supposed to adore the Most High. You're supposed to love your woman, of course, but your woman is supposed to adore you. Adoring is kind of like worship. So our men worship the women. So like it says in this title, thugs and the women who love them. And that's why people just bugging. The men of Israel are bugging out. So-called Negroes, Spanish, and Native Americans. We can't find our way because we don't want to wait for the true power. We don't want to get what, the true and just power of Yahweh Bashim El Shah. But what we want to do, we want that quick flash power that was, that we've been tempted with by the Edomites, the devil that the Bible speaks of, guns and, But that's the mindset of the 2/3. That carnal, so they fall for the carnal strength, which is temporary strength. But our women are super carnal, so they recognize, to them that's power. You tell your woman that, hey, the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Shah is with me, she gonna be looking at you like, the hell you talking about? The man who's got strength is that thug right there who just blew this other nigga's brains out. But since you ain't blowing nobody's brains out, you got no strength. Since you ain't out here doing 10 years in a big house, you ain't got no strength. Bullshit, man. That's why the majority of our women are going to be put to death, man. Isaiah 45 and 20. Let me see. I know I had a precept. Well, this is why I probably put a lot of precepts. Let me go to Psalm 71 and 16. It says, I will go in the strength of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim El Shah. I will make mention of thy righteousness, even of thine only. And that's how we going to do, us men of the Lord, hopeful elect of the 144,000, 1/3. We going to wait for Yahweh Bashim El Shah's strength, which is continual, which is not temporary, which is righteous, all right, which is not wild and self-destructive. We're not doing that, all right? Regardless of what the majority of us, you want to sell that bullshit about being strong through wickedness, so we can turn into freaking Anakin, freaking Anakin Skywalker, man. Get that temporary strength and then still lose at the end. Not only did he lose his woman, and he fucking lost his mind and lost his integrity, man. Getting into wickedness and trying to draw strength from wickedness ain't gonna get you nowhere. You're not gonna win. Okay. Psalms 99 and 4, it says, the king's strength also loveth judgment. Thou doest establish equity, thou executeth judgment and righteousness in Jacob. So if we supposed to be kings and we supposed to want strength, we supposed to want judgment. There ain't no real judgment. There ain't no judgment with these niggas, spakes and wetbacks, these thugs and gangbangers. Just a bunch of bullshit. But it's just an emotional outburst, man. And curses, heavy curses. This is Isaiah chapter 45 and 24. It says, surely shall one say, in the Lord Yahweh Bashim El Shah have I righteousness and strength. Even to him shall men come, and all that are incensed against him shall be ashamed. And the Lord shall all the seed of Israel be justified and shall glory. So that's who, our strength is from the right hand side. We have to be patient. We have to be ready. You know what I'm saying? We have to be right through faith spiritually to receive this power that's coming. But you wicked ass Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you're gonna fall for that, for the trick. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna fall for the gangbanging lifestyle, the thug and all that garbage. Because you ain't got no real strength, man. Esau fooled you into believing that you can gain real strength from wickedness. Just like Saul did. 63 and 1 Isaiah. It says, who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Who's that talking about? It's talking about the one and only. That's the man we waiting on. You know what I'm saying? And what is he bringing? He's bringing with him real strength, real everlasting strength. All right. Jeremiah, I'm going to finish with this. Jeremiah 50 and 34. It says, their Redeemer, which his name is Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. It says, their Redeemer is strong. The Lord Yahweh Bashim Shah of hosts is his name. He shall thoroughly plead their cause, that he may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon. So all you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, 2/3, that love this place and this thuggish bullshit lifestyle, you know, that draw, like it says in Psalms 52, and strengthen himself in his wickedness. You strengthen yourself in your wickedness, and you know, then guess what? The Lord's gonna put you to death, man. He's gonna put you to death, man. A lot of you Israelites just ain't gonna make it, man. That's the reality of it. You know, you're gonna turn into Anakin Skywalkers. But basically that's what I want to bring forth, man. You know, let's not fall for fake strength. Alright? We're gonna wait for the real strength, man. From Yahweh Shemel Shah. So with that, I'm gonna say Kah Halayim La Yahweh Shemel Shah. Give a double honors to our apostles and elders of great millstone. Shalom, salutation. To all you sincere alchemists across the four winds, pushing this truth with sincerity of heart. I'm your further 7 Kasama guy from a DC camp saying Shalom.